What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. We got several things for you guys here in this video. Some new data that just came out here today about our economy, which gives some mixed signals to the Fed, which may or may not be good. We'll go over here right now. Thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos, and let's jump right in. Also, we'll go over how a December 5th deadline is going to be very important to Americans. We'll go over that here in this video as well. You can see here the U.S. job market keeps beating the odds, adding another 263,000 jobs in November. And you can see here payrolls and wages blow past expectation, flying in the face of the federal rate hikes, which is not really good for what the Fed is trying to do, because when the wages keep going up, that means that really inflation is going up. And the Fed doesn't like this. And that really makes the Fed want to keep raising interest rates, which isn't a good thing. Here's what President Biden had to say.
Our economy continues to grow. The economic report, the GDP is up even more than it was previously thought. We continue to create jobs, lots of jobs. And today, we've learned that the economy added 263,000 jobs in November. Now, we've now created 10.5 million jobs since I took office, more than any administration in history at this point in the presidency. And 750,000 of them are domestic manufacturing jobs made in America. Unemployment rate remains near an all-time 50-year low, 3.7%. And wages for working families, I want to say this again, wages for working families, in fact, over the last couple months have gone up. These wage increases are larger than the increase in inflation during that same period of time. And so we're in a position now where things are moving. They're moving in the right direction. As we go into the holiday season, here's what this all means. The Americans are working, the economy is growing, wages are rising faster than inflation, and we've avoided a catastrophic rail strike. It means our plan to build the economy from the bottom up and the middle out. You're tired of hearing me say that, but it's working. And the wealthy are still doing very well, while the middle class and the poor are having a shot.
So you can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Do you think the economy is going in the right direction? Do you think we're starting to claw our way out? Or do you think things are just going to complete? Well, you can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. So we have some good news and some bad news regarding gas prices. And I'll let you make the decision here on what you think is going to happen. On one hand, gas prices could drop below $3 by Christmas, which is good. GasBuddy reported a decline of 22.7 cents per gallon in the last month and said the dip could continue through December, pushing the gas price per gallon down to a possible $2.99 by the Christmas holiday, which would be really good. Of course, it varies where you are. If you're in California, don't expect this because we know gas prices are much higher there. You have higher taxes and the different blend of fuel, but really good to see anywhere close to that. The national average figure is currently hovering around $3.50 this week. All the metrics look very positive for motorists, as this week is likely to continue seeing falling gasoline prices, with many areas falling to the lowest level since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February, said GasBuddy's head of petroleum. It's entirely possible the national average price of gas could fall under $3 a gallon by Christmas, which would be a huge gift to unwrap for motorists after a dizzying year at the pump. Trust me, I've been dizzy all year, so I get the analogy. AAA puts Wednesday's national average at 349, down from 352 on Tuesday and 361 last week, and 376 last month. So it is a good trend. The figure is 10 cents above where we were last year and far below the record average of 502 recorded in June. However, on the horizon is a very big deadline coming up. Russian oil sanctions are about to kick in, and they could disrupt the markets in a very big way. The 27 countries of the European Union agreed in June to ban the purchase of Russian crude oil starting on December 5th. December 5th. They have been working on the details ever since. The EU discussed a limit of $62 a barrel this week, but Poland, Estonia, and Lithuania refused, arguing it was too high. Well, the current price of oil has been going down. It's at $80 a barrel for WTI crude and $85 a barrel for Brent crude, but it's nowhere near, what was that, $62 a barrel? So if that happens, we're looking at basically a strike on Russian oil for all of Europe, which could cause a massive, massive supply chain issue and could cause gas and oil prices to spike all around the world because there would be a supply chain issue and a massive shortage on oil. Also, OPEC Plus, a group of 23 oil producing nations led by Saudi Arabia and Russia, will convene on Sunday to decide on the next phase of production policy. Yeah, OPEC and non-OPEC oil producers, OPEC Plus is basically Russia and a few other countries, could impose even more oil cuts after their 2 million barrels a day cuts that they've already done. And energy analysts said that the influential energy alliance weighs on the impact of a pending ban on Russia's crude exports and a possible price cap on Russian oil. OPEC, a group of 23 oil-producing nations led by Saudi Arabia and Russia, will convene on Sunday to decide on the next phase of production policy. Quote, OPEC Plus has been rumored to consider a cut on the basis of demand weakness, specifically in China because of their lockdowns over the past few days, yet China's traffic nationwide is not down dramatically. The 27-nation EU bloc agreed in June to ban the purchase of Russian seaborne crude from December 5th as part of a concerted effort to curtail the Kremlin's war chest following Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. Also, the European Union officials have officially set a Russian oil price cap at $60 a barrel, which is well below the current market rate. However, details on how the cap would work in practice have been debated and hashed out since that point. This would constrain the Kremlin's revenue significantly. Russia has warned that an oil price cap could wreak havoc on the energy market and push commodity prices even higher. We will see. It would definitely hurt Russia, for sure. The price limit will be reviewed regularly to monitor its market ramifications, but it should be at least 5% below the average market price, the EU document with details of the cap said. The Supreme Court will hear the case on student loan forgiveness, which is currently blocked. But the student loan forgiveness will remain paused for the time being until the Supreme Court hears it. However, the Supreme Court says that they won't hear it until February, making, if it actually takes that long, tens of millions of people waiting for a decision. Yikes. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said, "We welcome the Supreme Court's decision to hear the case on our student debt relief plan for middle and working class borrowers this February. The program is necessary to help over 40 million eligible Americans struggling under the burden of student loan debt recover from the pandemic and move forward with their lives. The program is also legal, supported by careful analysis from administration lawyers. President Biden will keep fighting against efforts to rob middle-class families of the relief they need and deserve. As we previously announced, student loan payments will remain paused while the Supreme Court resolves the case. I believe they can remain paused until, I think it was June 30th, with the new announcement up until that point based on the Supreme Court's potential ruling. And also, you could see headlines like this: student loan forgiveness, 59% of borrowers won't be able to make their payments come June. And this kind of goes right in line with, if you've been watching our channel here, 60 to 64% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So how will they be able to now make hundreds of dollars a month of student loan payments that they've would now have to restart? When the student loan moratorium lifts next June, millions of Americans could be in hot water, according to a new Morning Consult poll. 59% of student loan borrowers say they may not be able to afford to resume their loan payments. Most adults who currently have federal student loans, 66% said they have experienced hardship in affording their payments in the past. 2/3. The Biden administration announced in August that it plans to forgive $10,000 of debt borrowers making less than $125,000 annually, or $20,000 in debt to Pell Grant recipients, which are the lowest income borrowers who also had a Pell Grant. People get confused on this. You can get a Pell Grant and also have a student loan, because sometimes the Pell Grant didn't cover everything. So you can get a Pell Grant and have a student loan, because the Pell Grant a lot of times doesn't cover everything. That plan is now being reviewed by the student loan or by the Supreme Court. According to the Morning Consult poll, 48% of adults with federal debt said they will still owe more than $20,000 in federal loans. Most people only qualify for the $10,000 of student loan debt forgiveness. Morning Consult poll also found, in the wake of several court cases, that U.S. adults were most likely to point the finger at conservative judges and GOP lawmakers for blocking student loan forgiveness plans. When asked who they trust the most to address how student loans are handled in the U.S., 47% of adults named the Department of Education, followed by Biden and Democrats in Congress, 45% each. Additionally, about 4 in 5 Democrats said they trust the president and congressional Democrats to handle the debt. Republicans largely stuck with their party, saying they were most likely to trust congressional Republicans, 69%, and conservative judges on the issue. And really, this is a historic landmark case, because if this goes through, what other type of debt forgiveness might go through, what other type of programs might go through. Of course, this year we've already had about 35 states send out state stimulus checks, inflation relief checks, property tax and renter relief checks, if you've been watching my channel. In fact, I just did a video going over a bunch of these different programs. I'll link you to here next. Some of them $1,000, $1,500 actually. And there'll probably be a lot more next year. In fact, some of these programs actually are already announcing payments going into 2023. Of course, we've had 3 stimulus checks on the federal level, Paycheck Protection Program, extra SNAP benefits, still going out to over half the states, of extra $95 per month. So hopefully that continues as well. That's still basically a stimulus program as well, because it's part of the pandemic. So there's still really a lot of different things going on here, and hopefully we'll continue here. I'll keep you up to date here on all this stuff. You let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After you subscribe, click the bell icon that appears next to the subscribe button so you don't miss out on new videos. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And here is my newest video on checks that are going out to several million Americans. So you can click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.